Not recall a time when we have had this many school closings and schools moving to NTI because of flu. This is an exceptional year.
Local medical experts have raised concern as the influenza virus spreads across Kentuckiana. It comes as the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services reports the first pediatric death from the flu. According to the cabinet, the child did not have the flu vaccine. Tonight, this is our top story at 5 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shay McAllister.
And I'm Connie Leonard. The Louisville Metro Department of Public Health and Wellness reported a jump to 9,000 cases of the flu this week, up from 6,000 last week. Plus, the department found 6 people died from flu-related symptoms this flu season. Our Ian Hardwick takes a visit to the hospital, hearing how you can stop the virus from spreading.
Although the best time to get your vaccine is before Halloween, it's not really too late at all. Tina here says this is the best way to prevent yourself from spreading the flu to other people.
I'm disappointed that those immunization rates have gone down this year, and it very well may be that's why we're seeing this surge or more children that are sick.
U of L health pharmacist Tina Claypool reassures that the drug used to treat severe cases of the flu, commonly known as Tamiflu, is still well stocked in the hospital. However, she said it may be difficult to get a hold of in neighborhood pharmacies.
It will vary from city to city, pharmacy to pharmacy, and certainly we want to reserve it to those folks that need it.
Like folks with asthma or compromised immune systems, people over the age of 65, and kids under 2. A spike in flu cases, thousands in children this week and the last, forced several surrounding school districts to close their doors. But Dr. Chris Bryant, a pediatric infectious disease specialist at Norton Children's Hospital, sees a silver lining there.
As a number of schools in the area move to NTI or some schools have closed, that likely will lead to a decrease in flu cases.
1, 2, 3.
She warns that the flu can turn deadly even in children.
Across the U.S., there had been more than 40 pediatric flu deaths. We have not had any in Jefferson County this year. So some parents just may not realize the potential severity of flu.
Dr. Bryant added that the flu vaccine protects people from those severe symptoms. It's also useful for people who already had the flu, since vaccination shields people from multiple variants of the virus. Claypool's also got some classic advice.
The flu virus is spread through little droplets when we sneeze, when we cough, when we talk. Yeah. So before you eat, before you touch your eyes, before you touch your mouth, wash your hands.
In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11, on your side.
Well, if you did catch the flu, these experts say it's best to wait a day after your fever goes away to go back around other people. And if you get vaccinated, it takes about 10 to 14 days for immunity to build up.
Flu cases are on the rise across the nation, too, causing schools and states to cancel or go remote. The doctors are already saying that this is one of the worst flu seasons they have seen in years. The CDC is reporting a second surge in cases, and at least 32 states are considered high level, including Kentucky.
We're being inundated with patients needing to be hospitalized for influenza. Our emergency rooms are being visited to such a large extent. The way the season is extending at this point and with the severity, we would recommend everyone who hasn't had a vaccination to go out and try to get protected.
According to the CDC, there have been more than 250,000 hospitalizations from the flu and 11,000 deaths so far this season.
The plan was for her to leave before Donald Trump took office. So the last I saw her was the last day of first semester.
WHAS 11 News has learned tonight that some JCPS students are staying away from school over fears of possible immigration raids. In an exclusive story tonight, the school board chair confirms to us there are students who have not returned to school.
It matches up with what several JCPS teachers are telling us. Students are scared, and so are their families. Isaiah Kim Martinez has been following the story since President Donald Trump took office. So, Isaiah, what have these JCPS teachers actually seen?
Well, Shay, Connie, essentially I'm being told that students are disappearing. They're just not seeing them in classrooms. And again, this is something that we have followed. I can also tell you one JCPS teacher even said a student of hers, an undocumented high school senior, self-deported to Mexico before this semester started, before Donald Trump returned to the White House. School board chairman Corey Scholl tells me there are more cases of kids not returning to the classroom. Now, to be clear here, though, the school district in a statement today said they have not had any visits from federal immigration authorities, but we're still seeing the impact of the anxiety over the possibility an ICE agent shows up at a school.
Once the inauguration happened, we've had kids that haven't come back. Just the emotional, traumatic effect of you see a kid in your classroom and then all of a sudden you don't see them anymore, and you know the reason why.
That's Haysha Diaz Melendez. She's a JCPS teacher telling me she has students working completely online, missing instruction. Like they've done in the past, school district leaders have provided principals with guidance on what to do if government officials do show up. Now, a JCPS spokesperson could not confirm the number of absences associated with this issue, but the assistant superintendent for climate and culture last week said it is something they're monitoring. Connie.
All right, Isaiah, thank you so much. And according to CNN, more than 8,000 people have already been arrested by federal immigration authorities since President Donald Trump took office. Daily arrests have passed the average seen under the Biden administration. The White House has not shared any goal detailing how many undocumented immigrants it once apprehended this year.
Well, happy Friday as we give you a live look outside at a sunset, but still some light. And I've been noticing these later sunsets. It's nice. It makes
that
a
is really
difference.
nice. And we did have the sun today. Now we do have the rain coming in, Ben.
Yeah, and the clouds are an indication of that. So we had the sunshine for the first half of today. Now it's getting cloudier out there, and eventually we'll have some sprinkles turning into some rain showers later on tonight. And the rain will continue through your Saturday as well. At least we'll have a dry Sunday. So kind of a half and half weekend on the way. A little bit chilly out there too. Thankfully, just a very, very light breeze. So jacket weather for you this evening. Live view here with our Houston Coleman cam showing overcast conditions with our U of L Health Camera Network, lower to mid 40s all throughout the area. Radar and satellite showing the clouds and a few of these sprinkles trying to show up. Initially, the air's pretty dry at the surface. It'll take a little while to moisten up from top down, but eventually plan on more and more of these scattered showers as we head into late night hours. So this is around 8 p.m., mostly dry. And then around midnight and just after midnight, it's around 2 o'clock in the morning. There you can see the scattered showers that will continue. So periods of rain throughout all of your Saturday with more widespread rain in the afternoon. But for a brief period of time, we got a window of some 60s over Kentucky, a little cooler over southern Indiana before that cold front moves through tomorrow evening and brings in some chillier temperatures for tomorrow night. Light rainfall tonight, low of 39 degrees, lower 50s by noon tomorrow, and heading to a high of around 63 degrees. The cold weather is back next week, and that means the potential for some snowfall for parts of our area. We'll be covering the wintry weather for next week coming up.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Louisville's fire arson unit is investigating the cause of an early morning fire in South Louisville. It happened just after 4:30 on South 3rd Street near Ollie's Trolley and the Kentucky Derby Festival offices. LFD removed 2 people from the 3-story building. They left the scene without receiving any treatment. It took 29 firefighters 45 minutes to gain control of that fire.
And a Louisville man will spend 3 months in jail for aiming a laser at an LMPD helicopter while in flight. LMPD and the U.S. Attorney's Office said 33-year-old Justin Freeman from Louisville pointed a laser at the chopper in September of 2023, and that could have blinded the pilot. Freeman will spend 3 months in jail and then 3 more months on home incarceration. The U.S. Attorney in Louisville says the incident could have turned tragic for a lot of people.
Today, Louisville's Inspector General Ed Harness doubled down on the importance behind the consent decree, saying it's imperative for transparency within the police department. Now, he was the featured speaker this morning at Bishop Dennis Lyons community discussion. Harness said typically when LMPD receives his report, they don't respond. Under the consent decree, they would have to respond within 45 days.
Relating to the consent decree, I have been one of the most optimistic people that this was going to happen. I no longer have that optimism based upon attending the hearings and reading the orders of the court.
Mayor Craig Greenberg has said he would like to carry through with the decree. LMPD said they plan to implement some changes.
Costco is being praised today for saying it is not getting rid of its DEI initiatives. This morning, a group of at least 50 Louisville leaders and activists went to Costco to buy memberships and support the big box retailer. They called it a buy-in, buy-out.
It's too much division in our country. We need to come together as a people. The question is, what is wrong with DEI? What is wrong with diversity? What is wrong with equity? What is wrong with inclusion? All of this came out of the Civil Rights Bill of 1964. We're not cutting anybody out of anything. Everybody is welcome at the table.
This group also called out Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman. He recently called on Costco to do away with its DEI initiatives.
Well, it comes as the Indiana Senate has passed a bill to limit diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at the state level and in schools. If passed, it would also require public school teachers to disclose any lessons dealing with diversity, adjacent topics. Senate Bill 289 is headed to the Indiana House following a heated debate between senators.
I'm not against diversity. Hoosiers come from many walks of life and many backgrounds, and it's good to celebrate that. What I don't want is the government to say that everyone with a certain trait should automatically get preferential or adverse treatment.
I'm just trying to figure out that if we're going to take our time to pass a law, that we're trying to solve a problem that actually exists, and I'm not convinced yet that it exists because I haven't seen any data that it does, and you haven't produced any data that it does.
SB 289 comes after Governor Mike Braun's executive order calling for an end to DEI efforts in Indiana state government. If made law, the bill would prevent any public money from going to DEI consultants or promotion of DEI topics.